Hey guys, what's up? Today, I want to add Roshi and Krillin to the shelf. Specifically, Roshi and Krillin from the Dragon Stars collection. And I also want to stop for a minute and talk about Dragon Stars in general. Let's do that today. So Dragon Stars is something that I have a decent amount of experience with. I bought the entire first wave specifically for the Build-A-Figure that would allow me to build Shenron. Then I stepped away from the line, sold one of the figures, and decided to come back to the line specifically when I came across two other figures. Now, I've seen this line a couple of times in the stores, and I've skipped on it at different points in time. Either I thought about cherry-picking characters that I liked, but then never quite thought that they were up to the quality standards that I wanted, and then other times I've also seen them and said, nah, not for me, or then been ridiculously confused about where the line seems to be going. Take, for instance, I bought the Shenron line. I bought every single one of them so I could build Shenron. And I said, okay, this is a Build-A-Figure line of Dragon Ball Z characters. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'm interested. Then a line came out where you could build Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Cool. Then a 2-pack came out where you could just buy Broly. Well, this isn't that huge of a deal because we've seen it with other lines where things like Clayface get released, but then if you didn't want to build Clayface, you could make Clayface. Juggernaut was released in a Build-A-Figure wave, but then if you wanted, you could just buy the 2-pack that was Colossus and Juggernaut. This is not odd for Build-A-Figure waves to also release the figure as a standalone or a pack-in together with another Build-A-Wave figure. It's usually painted a little different or something of that nature. But then, I started noticing these. And they don't, come with anything. But the price is still about the same. $20. And when I look at them, and I see their price, I can't help but notice that for $20 for these, at $25, I'm seeing things like G.I. Joe Classified, which is some of the best sculpts I've ever seen. Now, who makes these? Bandai? Bandai. That does bother me a little bit. If Bandai is the one putting these out, then I have to ask a couple of questions because the quality standard in Bandai that I have built figures, such as Android 18, seems to be a higher quality value than the characters that I could just buy built. Maybe. Let's be fair to the line real quick. Let's check these figures out and then let's talk a little more. So here we are, Krillin and Roshi, two characters that I like a lot. Now I realize these are from Dragon Ball Super, so some of the things that I'm going to comment on, such as maybe I would have preferred this Roshi and a different Roshi, but I'm not going to complain all that much because I very blatantly realize that these are supposed to be from Super. So these are the representations of the characters from Super. This wave, with Krillin in it, there's the possibility to get Super Saiyan Goku. There's a possibility to get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Piccolo. This is Cape version, which means there must be an uncaped version somewhere. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Krillin, and of course, Super Saiyan Gohan. Not Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. There is a specific distinction between that concept idea. Now, the other wave right here, Roshi. You could have got Roshi, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or the new Broly. Okay, not a bad little wave, but neither of these are Build-A-Figures. Neither of them. If I'm not mistaken, they still kept the same price point as the Build-A-Figure waves, but now you can't get the Build-A-Figure from that wave. And I'm already seeing some things being put out, such as this Super Saiyan Goku, which I believe I already have on the shelf. Does he have these hands? No. But I believe I have him. And this is one of the things that's actually bothering me about the line, is it seems like they have no problem putting out not even so much as repaints. Yes, that's a repaint, as well as, you know, this and this. But what I'm getting at is that it doesn't seem like it has any shame in releasing something like the same Super Saiyan Goku, calling it Super Saiyan Goku, putting it in another wave, and then simply adding Kamehameha hands? But a secondary problem, if we're talking about that. If these Build-A-Figure waves, or last that's what they used to be. They used to be Build-A-Figure waves, right? Now they don't come with anything. Is this what's considered a deluxe? Is this deluxe? He cost the same as Krillin. So I just feel like he's another character in the wave. But he gets fist hands, grip hands, Kamehameha hands, and he's a fairly big figure. Krillin is, of course, a small figure, which is not necessarily a deal breaker, if I'm going to be honest. And he gets Kamehameha hands. But if we're not going to do Build-A-Figures, could we get effects? Like, how come this Krillin doesn't come with a Kamehameha? Or Kienzan? How come he doesn't have a Destructo Disc? Wouldn't that make sense? How come he doesn't come with a Kamehameha? Or something of that nature? How come different figures in the line didn't come with different effects so that then we could do different things? Such as a Goku that came with a Super Saiyan power-up effect that was scaled decent enough that it could be given to other characters in the line. A Kamehameha with a stand that was adjustable up and down so that once you got a Krillin or a Yamcha or a Goku or something of that nature, you could have a Kamehameha to swap between the characters and use how you wanted. I'm not understanding. It almost feels like we're getting less as this wave goes on and the value's going down. And I can't help but feel like some of these characters aren't necessarily worth it. Let's open these guys. All right. Here are the characters, the figures outside of the packaging. And for what it's worth, they seem solid. They really do. Outside of the packaging, I'm not really hating their design or anything like that. For $20, they're decent figures. I'd almost tell you that these sculpts seem better than the ones I've had in the earlier line. Now, I don't know if I'm just imagining this or if maybe there's a little bit of bias. Let's at least be honest about something real quick. Krillin is my favorite character of the whole series. Roshi is also one of my favorite characters. Yes, I know everybody loves Vegeta. Yes, I know everybody loves Goku. But these two characters I like for very different reasons. Krillin is the most human character in the story. But he's respectably strong. He's scared, but incredibly brave, always steps up, and I don't care how Team 4-Star made it look and how everybody has seemed to have adapted this idea. Krillin was never a joke. The very idea that Krillin stood his ground against the Saiyans, the very idea that Krillin stepped up in moments during Dragon Ball, the very idea that Krillin held his own in the Frieza saga against characters like the Ginyu Force. Could he win? Not necessarily, no. But he was always there. He fought with Frieza. Could he win? No. But every time it was required of him to step up, he did. He threw the Destructo Disc that stopped Frieza from smashing Gohan's head into the dirt. That was him. He's the one that escaped nearly being destroyed by Frieza by using the Taioken. He's the one that saved them, and Dende, by the way, when Gohan blew when Gohan blew their cover and kicked Dodoria in the head. Yes, had Gohan not done that, they wouldn't have saved Dende to begin with. But when it happened, when Gohan stepped in, Krillin was the one that jumped in right after him and took care of business. Grabbed Dende, and they flew off. And he's the one that used the solar flare, the Taioken, to say, "Ching! Solar flare! Get out of my face!" And then made their getaway. He's also the one that strategically planned out almost every single move during the Season 2 Dragon Ball Z and kept them alive for the most part until Goku arrived. I have always liked Krillin, and I've always seen him as a massively respectable character. And Roshi, by the way, Roshi's another thing that I like in all these different things in general, not just in Dragon Ball Z. Roshi is the old combat master that you don't expect. He's Yoda. He's the wise old mentor that is completely unassuming, that surprises you with his power. This dirty old pervert, this joke, this comic line in the start of Dragon Ball turns out to be a true, legit, invincible old master that literally in Dragon Ball had the power to shoot a Kamehameha strong enough to destroy the moon. He strategically thought through fighting points in Dragon Ball so that he didn't kill Goku. He blows up the moon so that they have fighting chances against things like Piccolo and whatnot. He steps in and guarantees the development of Krillin and Goku during the course of Dragon Ball by guaranteeing that the students cannot win the World Martial Arts competition and therefore would continue to train themselves over time. And even after they had surpassed him, he still went out of his way time and time again to help guide their progress whenever he could. I like Roshi for that reason. He plays the unassuming, wise, old warrior mentor character, and he does it very well. He's just an absolute legend in the ideas of those characters in general. I really like him. This sculpt is fantastic. That's decent enough head movement. He doesn't really look up. He does look down for the... not too much, but you can get this kind of thing going on with him. You can get this kind of thing going on with him. Some left and right. He's got his cool shades. It would be cool if you could take them off or whatever, and then he'd have those funny eyeballs or whatever. But this is really solid. I like this. The figure has decent enough movement. You could do a type of side kick. He has his arm going this way and all the way up and everything like that. They have decent enough movement for what they are. They pose well. They look good. You could get some decent shots out of these guys if you were to do that. Krillin has very little head movement. His head goes down. His head goes up. Barely. As you can see, he's always looking down. Even when I pull his head up as much as I possibly can. It goes left, it goes right. He always has like this somber seriousness. Now the neck joint moves a little bit, but it still doesn't help him. And then of course he has not double jointed knees necessarily. I mean, this is what it is. It's okay. It'll work for what you want to do. His foot keeps coming off. I'm not sure if I just got a bad one or what, but it's nothing that I can't fix. You just watch me in real time, pop it right back on there. But I do want to see something. I want to compare his sculpt, their detail, to the guys from the first line, because I did buy some of these back when they were first coming out. Like I said, I bought the Shenron line, and I want to bring them down here real quick so we can look at them compared to these guys and see if this is really worth 20 bucks. Okay, this is the entire line that I've put together so far, and keep in mind, exactly like I said, I actually sold Frieza from this line because I have a better Frieza on the shelf that I just liked more, and here's what I'm wanting to see. Okay, so like, here's Goku. And here's the Super Saiyan Goku, which like I said, bothers me a little bit that already we seem to have another Super Saiyan Goku, and like, what is the point? How much of a different paint job or whatever can he really have Because that's him. That's him. Kamehameha hands. That's it. Is that why we don't? Is that why we already have a repaint in the line? Like, or is there something that I'm missing? Have these gotten better in their sculpts, and they decided to come in and deal with it? Because, like, at this point in time, they didn't have that double knee that I'm seeing for Krillin. Like, you see what I mean? He had like this. It's just a different kind of thing. So maybe that's the idea. Maybe they got the better sculpts and they upgraded the line, and as soon as they did that, maybe they decided to bring all these guys back to the drawing board, kind of get them a little bit and put them in there a little bit at a time. Maybe that's the idea. Vegeta, personally, doesn't seem small enough. Like, he's as big as Goku. Look at that. The scaling is terrible, right? Am I imagining that? I feel like the scaling is terrible. Krillin also seems too big. I mean, yeah, he's smaller than Goku, but not by much at all. And I don't have Goku super hunched over here or nothing like that. Look, this is Goku standing up. He's standing all the way up. He's just standing. I'm not doing anything special with him or anything. Here's Krillin. That looks smaller, but I've got him behind Goku. But, like, if he stands in front of Goku, he literally blocks out Goku. Like, he's too big. Krillin seems too big. He doesn't seem small enough to be right. It seems like the scale on these guys is messed up, which is weird to me. Because there it almost seems right. Like there he's smaller. He's like an entire head smaller than Roshi. Whoo! I saved you, Roshi. I couldn't save Krillin, but I saved you. I'm sorry, Krillin. I literally just ran the cliche with you again. I couldn't save you. You're the one that fell down out of all the characters. Yeah, he's like a whole head taller than Krillin. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe the new sculpts have been scaled or something like that. Maybe they're better. I really don't know. And I don't really want to buy a third Goku to find out. Because in all honesty, I think these sculpts are fine. They look good. But like, I never liked this Vegeta. Look at this Vegeta. Like, I don't feel like I'm just imagining that. Look at him with his weird head and his big giant thick neck and like, I just think he looks, I don't know, I don't care for him. Now I saw that there's a Vegeta with the Scouter, like an old, like an original Vegeta type of thing. Maybe that's better. Like, shouldn't Beerus be tall? I don't know. This line kind of bothers me. It bothers me to the point where I'm thinking about parting with the whole line. But I don't know. I'm very curious if I bought a third Goku. And I really don't want to do that. But like, he's right here. There's a Super Saiyan Goku. I'm almost wondering if I bought him, would he be scaled different so that he actually matches? And would he be about as big as Krillin? You get the idea? Like, because right now I feel like the scaling is really off. Will he be really tall? I don't know. I really don't know. If anybody knows more about these figures, if somebody's really into this line, if they've been buying this line, please, 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 in the comments below, educate me. I'd be more than happy to take some education on this and hear from you what your likes and whatnots are about this, if you like this line or if you hate this line. And really, when I think about it, the SH Fig Arts line is only like $34 a character in some situations. Like I saw a Super Saiyan Goku at Target that was only 34 bucks. I saw a Frieza that was only 34 bucks, and they're pretty much top of the line when it comes to these Dragon Ball figures. But I'll also say that in Dragon Ball Z, some of these figures in Fig Arts are costing like $90 over $100 in some cases, especially if they hit the second market if you didn't get to jump on them right when they came out, and that's rough too. So there is something to be said for these being available and you being able to just buy them right now. But they eliminated things like the Shinron back here, so you're not building or getting anything out of it except for some Kamehameha hands. And Kamehameha hands, at least to me, don't really seem worth it. Like, big deal. You know what I mean? I don't know. So like I said, I would love some opinions on this line. Specifically, this is the Dragon Stars series line, and I'm torn. This is referring to itself as Series 13, Series 14, and this right here, it doesn't say Series anything. So I don't know how long this line has even been going. Like I said, I bought the first wave back when I very first noticed it coming out. And now this claims to be 13 and 14. If there's only 3 figures a wave, then I guess that makes sense. Maybe they're pretty dang far into the line, and I just really never saw a reason to invest necessarily. But like I said, it was at Target, and I came across a random Krillin and Roshi, and I said to myself, I haven't bought one of these in a really long time. I'm somewhat interested. I have the extra money. I'm currently waiting for something to come in anyway. And I was like, it'd be cool to have a Krillin on the shelf, because all I really have is a statue. I don't have an action figure of Krillin. And I tried to look up an SH Fig Arts one time, and they were asking like $134 for him, the Krillin that I wanted. And I was like, ouch, no, I can't do that right now. But $20 to put a Krillin on the shelf, that's not that bad. But like I said, I have my problems with the line, and I'm really fighting myself here as to whether or not I'm just creating problems or if these problems exist. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, these two guys are definitely staying on the shelf. The Goku and the Vegetas, I honestly think I don't like them. I bought them so I could get Shinron. But now, I just don't like the way his face is done. I don't really like his overall body cap. Like, he just seems odd to me. He doesn't seem right. And especially scaled to the other figures. And I'm guessing these guys have gotten new bodies or something like that. Because, like, Roshi, to me, looks really good. And Krillin, standing next to Roshi, looks right. But he doesn't look right standing next to the first Goku. And if that's true, if the wave is, if the sculpts for these guys have changed that dramatically, then maybe it is time to ditch the first wave figures and look into maybe the possibility of getting some of the other figures from the line and checking them out. But I'd also not want to waste my money, because every $20 you spend in one place is $20 you can't spend in another place getting figures that actually matter to you in different ways. So I'm really torn here. Like I said, if you guys have information, if you're collecting the line, if you're interested, if you know stuff I don't know, comments in the section below. I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.